out, which is dumb. YouTube is like always messing with our lives. It's annoying. Um, so yeah, like I said, I feel like this person is focusing on bettering themselves. Like they could be trying to master themselves from negative thinking and getting out of some sort of mental turmoil, or just like not stressing over things that they feel like they cannot control. So I feel like this person is very consciously aware and very wise themselves, intuitive themselves. Okay, so why is there no contact? Please give me clarity for the collective as to why exactly is there no contact going on at this time? Because it could be different for everybody, so just take what resonates. Why exactly? Equal vision. So you guys might not be on the same page energetically. It could be that you guys were not sharing the same goals or focuses. One person may have had, focus on something else, maybe even someone else, or they just, like, you guys are just not seeing eye to eye. Another thing could be that you guys have both agreed to not contact, whether you guys agreed upon this on a, energetic level, whether this was verbally communicated, or just something within yourself. Like I said, energy wise, had this agreement that you guys would not be in contact right now. This could be your higher selves. The Queen of Cups, the King of Cups. So for a lot of you, this is a romantic connection, and it's like a soulmate connection or something, or maybe, whatever you want to call it, a deep soul bond or connection where you and this person are on the same page. Definitely you guys felt the same way about why you guys are not in communication, or just energetically, like something was agreed upon. So even more specifically, you guys both could be water signs, because you got the King and the Queen. Those are counterparts. So this is your lover, or this is a person that you share the same energy or understanding or the same feelings about this. Like I said, clarify this. The Hermit and the Judgment card. Yeah, this is something spiritual. This is something a little more beyond the surface. This is I feel this has something to do with learning the lessons. There's a lesson that needs to be learned individually between you two. The Justice card is Libra, so this could have something to do with Libra energy. We are pretty much still in the Libra full moon energy, which represents partnerships and connections. So you guys could be reflecting a lot upon your connection as well as other relationships in your lives. Platonic, non-platonic relationships, whatever comes up for you to focus on individually, because you guys need to be learning. And this is an area of study. This is a place of humbleness. This is a time of introspection. This is a time of initiating and moving forward on your spiritual journey. So I feel there was an agreement upon this on a spiritual level. It could have been a contract, a spiritual contract that needs to be carried out. Now, I'm not here to tell you if or when you will talk to this person again. That's something that I feel is unnecessary to worry about. I mean, it's okay to question whether or not you'll ever hear from someone again, or when am I going to hear from a person, just wanting to know. But at the same time, it's also it causes a lot of distraction, a lot of worries. It causes a lot of fear, a lot of anxiousness, and non-activity, not working, because that's the point of why you're here. For majority of you, I don't feel like it's a set in stone thing that you guys will never communicate again. Although things may, end up differently for each of you individually, I don't really see for a lot that you won't hear from this person again. Sacrifice. This card looks like me. I don't know why. We have the same eyes. Like the top part of this looks like me. And I love elephants, so it's funny. It's all good. I probably was an elephant in my past life. I don't know. But you have sacrifice. So there's something that needs to be sacrifice right now. Like, you have to do the work. Like, yeah, it would be cool to talk to this person. Yeah, it would be cool if certain things can go the way that you wanted them to go. But there's something that Spirit's telling you that you have to do the work. And some people don't want to hear that. Sometimes I don't want to hear that from Spirit. Like, I know, like, Spirit, I'm tired. Like, what else I got to do? Like, for real. And that's with anything in my life. Whatever I feel like I need in my life or want in my life, or I want to go in a certain direction. I just feel like it's always something. I get mad about it. I'm real stubborn. But I know that essentially I got to do the work. If you guys are just looking for a reading or a reader to just tell you what to do, or just tell you how things are going to unfold, and just like tell you that there's nothing you need to do, or there's never anything that you need to work on, this is not the channel for you. I'm all about solutions to the conclusion. So I'm never just going to tell you the answers to your test. You got to figure it out on your own. And plus, it's general. It's not a personal reading, so there's no guarantee that's going to resonate with everyone just because they've watched and tapped in. Maybe it may resonate at some point in their life, or maybe it just wasn't for them at all. But everyone individually, there's something that needs to be sacrificed right now, and the connection may be that thing. Like, it's not to be your major focus. And who's to say that just because you got work to do today doesn't mean that you won't talk to this person maybe within a couple of hours? Like, that's the thing. We got to stop being so dead set on time. Like, when we think we have work to do, we start to think that, oh, it's going to take years, it's going to take this long. Like, take the timing, and when, the where, the who, and all of that is going to happen. And I'm telling myself this too, because Spirit sneaks messages in when I'm reading too, so I can hear it outside of myself. But worrying about the whens and the wheres and the hows of how things are going to take place, the timing, is a distraction. It keeps you from the work. And it's also an illusion, because things happen unexpectedly when we're not focused on it. Like, we might think something will take years and days, but it could take, you know, a matter of hours or a couple of days less than what you thought. So you got the Ace of Pentacles with the Four of Wands, the Knight of Pentacles, and the Five of Pentacles. Some of you guys need to be focusing on branding. I don't know why I'm hearing that. Branding, business, because y'all got work to do. I feel like this is a part of your journey. Like, a lot of you guys have a lot of gifts to offer the world. There's something that you're meant to share. There's something that you're meant to bring forth. And I feel like you've abandoned those things, or you don't believe in those things, or you just kind of feel unworthy of things in your life right now. And that's where you need to focus your healing, because this is a part of you seeing things from a more infinite perspective, and not so narrow-minded, and, you know, focus on one specific way of things happening and timing and whatever else specifically. It's like, be open to receive, be open to receive in all that ways, and all you have to do is knock and you shall receive. Now, whether you receive exactly what you're asking for, because you can be like, you know, there's no guarantee that what you're asking for is given to you, but what is guaranteed for sure is that you will get what you are meant to receive, and what's of your highest good, and what's best, and what essentially will make you happy or make you a better person, or what's in the highest good of everybody else. Because sometimes we want specific things, and we kind of cancel out what might be good for other people as well, especially when it comes to our connections with others. Yeah, we may want to, you know, get married during the fall, but who's to say that your partner had other plans, or they have their desires too, that they want to maybe get married in the springtime? So is there a way that we can kind of like work it out, or, you know, compromise? Like, you can't just focus on what you want, and maybe the person you want does not want you, or the person that you're asking for may not feel like they're ready to speak to you. Maybe they feel like they're not in the right space. It's like, you have to consider everything. That, or it could be Spirit is saying that it's just time to pass certain things up, like the time is up on certain things. Or maybe it's not that you'll never hear from this person again, but maybe it's not meant to be what you would like it to be, or there's a new way of communicating that's coming in, but you want it to be the way that you've always known it to be. But maybe Spirit is like, it's time to evolve past the way you have been communicating, and how this person, there's so many layers to this. So you can't just stay fixated on one specific thing, because that one specific thing may not be what's best. And it's a stubbornness, it's an ego thing, and it's a lack of trust within self and within God when we think that we know better than our creator. Whether you think the creator is the universe, a big bang, whatever, God in the sky, your ancestors, whatever you believe knows you beyond anything else, your human self. It's a disrespect and a dishonor to think that this divine energy does not know what's best for you more than you know. So there's things that, yes, we can ask for. The universe is infinite, it's abundant, we can have whatever we want, but at the same time, what do we truly want? Because sometimes we think we know what we want, and we think we know what's best for us, but essentially God, our higher selves, our spiritual team that really knows us, the higher intelligence knows what's best for us and what's good for us and what is not, and what's of the highest good of others involved. If they don't match, if they don't go together, it's because it's not meant to go that way. But there is a better way, there is a better plan, there is a better energy. So it's like, humble yourself when it comes to this. Yeah, it might trigger you, it might anger you, because it's like, oh, well, I wanted this to happen at this and this and that time because, you know, I'm tired of waiting, or I feel like it's best because it's perfect, because I don't have this to do, I don't have any distractions in this area, so I would like for us to come together and meet up on this date. But it's like, maybe that person has something else going on in their life, or maybe there's things within yourself that's not really in the right space to even be amongst another person right now, trying to be in a relationship. It's like I said, it's so many different layers. Just be open and trust that God knows best, or your angels, your spiritual team, your ancestors, whomever you believe in and you trust in, has a better plan. And that's the sacrifice. You got to sacrifice the ego and a little bit of the selfishness, the greediness, and kind of just let your hand just, you know, let it go. Alright. If I triggered you, it is what it is. It may have not been the message for you. Alright, so what would this person like to tell you? I want to see what it is that this person, what would they tell you, if anything, within themselves? Maybe they feel like they can't tell you. Maybe they don't know how to verbalize it. Maybe this is subconscious, their higher self. I'm going to tap into the collective pool of those who are not in communication, and what is that the other party wishes to communicate with them. Those are the energies that I can tap into. I would love to know how you know how, or hear how you love me and need me, and it's not worth it. Spring, years, months. Okay, so it's different for everybody. You got January, you got fall. Like, Spirit's giving y'all some dates. Like, look at that, look at God. It's not that serious. Okay. What the hell? Alright, what would they tell you, if they can tell you anything? What would they say? The first message that came out was, I would love to know or hear how you love and need me. So this person does want to hear from you. Some of them, maybe some of them, whoever I'm picking up on, would like to hear from you. They want to know that you still care about them. They want to hear it from you that you still care, that you still love them or need them in your life. And this could be a little bit of ego stroking. Not in the sense that it's like a player vibe or take advantage of you, but just kind of like seeking validation from you. Also, some of them are saying that something's not worth it. So whether that be the fact, whatever happened and transpired between you, maybe they feel like it wasn't worth it, or they just feel like whatever the conflict is, it's not worth it, you know, period. Or maybe they feel like communication is just like not worth it right now, or just not worth it, period, for them. But take what resonates. So you have January, that could represent something significant. You have fall, you have spring, months and years. And with the top card, it said it's not that serious. So it could be that the reason why you guys are not communicating, maybe it was off of something that wasn't that serious, or they feel like you're taking things a little too seriously, you're worried about something too much, or maybe they're just telling you that whatever was going on wasn't that serious to them. Between you, let's see, bottom card is there's someone else. So yeah, it could be that this person has someone else, and that's why they're not communicating right now, for some of you. Let's see if there's anything else that wants to come out. I'm just going to use the tarot at this time. Okay. Four of Swords, Page of Wands, the Magician, Seven of Wands, and the World. The World, I've seen the World come out a few times. Excuse me. So the overall energy is, I feel there needs to be some time alone. There needs to be some time to really think. And some of you guys need to pray about this, or some of you guys need to meditate on this and clear your mind. Not by overthinking or, you know, obsessing. Be careful with that. But it's like more so you have to center yourself internally. You have to really go within and shut out all the chatter. Now, if meditating for you is writing and journaling, praying, fasting, whatever your form of meditation is, I feel Spirit's telling you to move towards that, in that direction, because the reason why you're facing resistance with taking action or things moving forward in a physical sense is because you need to be immobile right now. You need to just lay back and chill and not focus so much on trying to do, and just focus on what needs to be looked at within the self. What is it that's really going on? What am I really feeling? Or why do I think this way? Like, really get down to the root of everything. And it may seem very challenging at first. Might come up with resistances, blockages, anger, frustration, some tears, some sadness. But you have to work through those energies. It's like, think of your emotions and your thoughts that trouble you, that bother you, that hurt you. Think of it as a dark tunnel, and you're just walking through that until you get to the light, until you reach that clarity, until you reach feeling better, because you got to go through it. Just walk through that darkness, meaning walk through the shadows, walk through your fears, walk through your doubts, walk through your anger, whatever the dark energy is for you. Go within your shadows until you reach that end of clarity, that understanding. So like I said, kind of what helps me is to think that these feelings, they have to be worked through. I have to just face them, because I know that if I work through them, it's going to reach me to a point of understanding and clarity and feeling better ultimately, because I faced those things. I now understand why I was feeling what I was feeling and thinking what I was thinking. Certain things do need to be released at this time so that you can have a fresh start where you don't have any attachments. You don't have any baggage. You can start with a clean slate, because you're stepping into a whole nother dimension of life, or just a whole nother period, basically a whole nother energy and era in your life, a new chapter. And it's going to require strength. It's going to require persistence. It's going to require stability. It's going to require mental stability, emotional stability, clarity. It's going to require humbleness. It's going to require obedience. These are the energies that I'm picking up with all of this, with the World card. And also because what's going to happen is when you reach that ending of the cycle, the Fool's journey ends here with the World card. This is the last major arcana. So it's like you're almost reaching the end of a cycle and a journey in your life, a period and a chapter. So you had to go through all these different stages, all these different phases, these different connections, the people that you've come to meet. At this point lead you here. So you might really be going through it because you're cleaning out some, like for some of you, like 10-20 years of a lot of stuff, a lot of experiences, a lot of baggage, a lot of lessons and whatnot. So yeah, and all of that's coming up like as a review in different ways, and it might cycle through other experiences with people that are new in your life, or certain things are coming up to the surface in other ways that trigger different reactions out of you, or the same feelings and thoughts that you had from a different situation are coming up. And that's because you have to release that. It's almost like, you know, like, how do I say it without being nasty? It's like the food that you just ate. Like, yeah, you're feeling that feeling in your stomach and it's uncomfortable. It's because it needs to be released. Like, it's like that's a sign that I gotta let it go. It's uncomfortable because it's something that needs to leave, and it is leaving. Actually, I skipped the Magician. The energy from the Magician. The energy from the Magician card is, a lot of you don't know your power right now. You don't really know your strength, and it's because you might be utilizing it in a new way. You might have come to an awareness of an aspect of yourself, like your power, that maybe just wasn't there before. You just didn't see it, or maybe it wasn't time to see it. Some of you guys are learning how to embrace these things. And when I say power, it doesn't have to be things outside of yourself, such as magic and candles and law of the attraction and all of that. It could simply be your power to face your demons, or the power to teach, and the power to change your life. Whatever it is, there's many different things that this could be. And Spirit's telling you to approach the situation knowing that you have all of the elements, all of the tools, and access to different opportunities and things and people to help you on your path and on your journey to whatever the vision is that you have for yourself. The Seven of Wands, you might have to, you have to go through the battle, and in order for you to remove these blockages, or for things to start moving forward for you, because there's a lot that you've set into motion. There's a lot of seeds that you planted. There's a lot of energies and a lot of things that are going to happen. There's a lot of things that are going to move forward for you. You might be sensing some of that. And some of you guys may be feeling depleted. Some of you guys may feel like, is this even worth fighting for? Is my dreams even worth fighting for? Is it even worth, I don't even know what I'm fighting for anymore. Is this even worth it? I'm tired. I wish I could just like go back to where things used to be. But Spirit is saying you got to work through this. Because when you clear these blockages out of the way, these energies that no longer serve you, that don't need to be here in your life, that's when you're going to start seeing things move forward. And when you release your resistance and your stubbornness, or your fear, or your need to control, that's also when you're going to see things starting to move forward in your life, how they're supposed to and how they're meant to move forward for you. Yeah, because the other person's energy is not really coming up so much, is because I feel like, really honestly, Spirit does not want you to obsess over this situation or this person so much, because you have work to do within yourselves, and so do they. If you guys weren't a distraction to one another and what you needed to focus on and heal, they would be in your life right now, helping you and helping each other. But it's like right now, Spirit sees it as best that you not distract each other and get on your A game. Whether this is, like I said, a romantic situation I'm reading about for some of you, or for some of you, if it's a platonic situation with friends and things like that. Like, I don't know how many times I've had a situation where there's times I don't speak to my friends for days. And it's not because we don't care about each other, we don't love each other. It's because when we catch up and we talk again, it's like, yeah, I was going through it. Or yeah, I had a lot going on in my life. Or this was going on and that happened. Or I just needed some time for myself. You'll find that. But when it comes to love and relationships, we're so used to thinking that we have to constantly see each other. We have to constantly be up each other's butt on the phone. And for me, it's hard because I don't know if this is a Taurus thing, or it's like part of it being a little bit of like maybe lower aspects of feminine energy, kind of being clingy or possessive over the things that you love, and you constantly want it around. And then there's another side to me that likes my peace and likes my space, where I don't like to be smothered, and I don't have to see my partner or whatever every day, when I did have one at least. But why is it that with love we have a hard time with being like, I ain't got to talk to you every day, or I don't have to see you every day, but the love is still there, we're cool, I'm not worried about, oh, he could be with somebody else, or are they mad at me because we haven't talked? And that's something that I'm still working through, and what I've worked through when I was in relationships and when I just had somebody I was talking to. Like, I had to work through that. Like, Spirit made me aware of that issue that I had, that codependency and that clinginess that I had, and was like, is this really a bad thing, or is this something I was taught to believe, or is something within me that's needy and codependent that I need to address within myself? Do I really need to talk to him every day? Do I really need to hear from him every day? Do I really need to see him every day? whether, you know, that be on FaceTime or something, or physically. Does it always have to be? Do we have to go everywhere together? When I go out, does he always have to go, or do I always have to go? Or is there a time where I can be an individual? So it's kind of hard for love and relationships to look at things in that way. And some people have a hard time with their friends too. Like, they have to constantly be with their friends 24/7, or go out every weekend with their friends, or talk on the phone every day. And there's some time where you don't. But for those of you who, like, you know, when I get back with my friend, my homegirl, my homeboy, whatever, we're cool. There's no animosity at the fact we didn't talk. We just know the deal. And when we talk, it's like, yeah, I was going through a lot. Or I have kids, I have my own family, I have my own, you know, I have work to do and stuff like that. We understand that. But when it comes to your lover, it's like you're keeping tabs on this person. So I feel like what Spirit's trying to do for the majority that may be going through that type of energy is teaching you to remove that codependency, remove insecurities, remove sense of, you know, needing to control things and to manipulate, and specific societal programming. And it's not to say that there's anything wrong with wanting to hear and talk to your partner every day or see them every day. There's nothing wrong with that. But when it comes from a place of neediness, or you feel a sense of lack because of it, to where you feel bad and you start spiraling and thinking negatively, it causes arguments. That's when you need to check yourself. And if it's an unhealthy relationship where you never see each other and this person's constantly, like, you know the difference between when somebody's just like running game on you, or it's not a healthy relationship, they don't want nothing to do with you, they're not communicating because they told you, I don't want to talk to you. And you need to honor that, whether this person is going through the emotions of something, and you need to honor it and back up, because that's a form of unconditional love. Conditional love is trying to force yourself upon someone, and they're telling you, like, leave me alone, whether it be temporarily, or I don't want to be with you. Whether you believe that this person is, you know, making it up, or they don't know what they're saying, or they're confused at the time, or they're just going through it, you still got to honor where they stand and leave that person be and focus on yourself. And a lot of times when we are seemingly rejected by other people, it's really them rejecting us because there's something within ourselves that we have been ignoring that we need to focus on. That's all it is. So with that being said, work through those energies, because a lot of you may be triggered by that type of thing. Like, I'm not talking to this person, it makes me feel inadequate, it's making me question things, what did I do wrong? And if it be that maybe you did spark an argument or something, or you feel like you pushed this person away because you did something, see what was going on within yourself that triggered that type of behavior, and not in a judgmental way, but in a compassionate, critical type of way, not in a negative criticism, if that makes sense. But if it's just assumption that, oh, you know, this person is ignoring me, maybe they didn't like me, or maybe they're done with me, or maybe what is this going on? Am I going to lose them? What if this happens? Are they cheating? If that type of stuff is coming up, you have to address where it's coming from, rather than feeding that energy over and over and over again, because it's causing imbalance. And I feel that this person, whoever you're asking about, they could be a distraction, or you could have been a distraction, or simply that Spirit is just saying, like, it's best for whatever we need these individuals to do within themselves, it's best that they do it on their own, not with too much dependency. Because even in the beginning of the reading, I was getting that you really felt dependent, or you kind of, what you were used to, let's say for some of you, you were used to having this person always in your life, and always being able to talk to this person and have an ear with this person. So you might need to wane off of the codependency, whether that's a friend, family member, who knows, readings. Like, some of you, maybe you're certain readers that you guys watch, maybe they stopped posting after a while, maybe they've gone MIA, maybe they went on break, maybe they just stopped posting, maybe they've just been gone and you don't know what happened. Or certain, if it's not readers, then maybe certain teachers or something that you had and you leaned upon, and maybe they haven't posted in a while, maybe they don't post anymore, maybe accounts got deleted, and that's a sign that you need to kind of lean upon you. Or when you want someone to be available and you call them and they're not answering the phone, or they're not available to you, or they're never available, that is a sign that it's something within you. You got to lean upon yourself. You're becoming too dependent on something or someone else outside of you. I hope that's making sense. I hope that makes any bit of sense. I hope this message reaches those who it's meant to reach well, and that it's well understood in their own comprehension with whatever the divine, however the divine speaks to them through this message through me, because everyone is unique and spirit will speak to you in ways that you'll understand. Even if I'm saying the same words for you and one person's hearing the same words out of my mouth, you might interpret the message differently based upon your signature experience, whatever your specific experience under your level of understanding, your energy. You're going to read it differently from the next person. It's not going to be completely the same as the next person. I could be saying the sky is blue and it could represent a metaphor for someone, a dream that they had, and then something clicks for them. So whatever resonates with you, take it. I don't even know. Like, I don't know. Like, sometimes I'd be like, am I just talking? But I know, but it's not really me, because I'm like, where is this shit coming from? Like, really? So, but that's one thing. You have to discern messages as well. Don't just take everything somebody says verbatim. Unless it resonates, unless you really feel that within you, you know it's for you. But if it's not, don't try to force something to make sense or make it fit. Because not every message is going to be for you. Even if it's the most wisest person, or the person you think is the most wisest being ever that you've ever come across, not everything they say is meant to be taken literal. You are your own teacher as well. So you have to take into consideration of what you're receiving, and if it validates what you already know and feel, or what spirit, your angels, your guides. And that's another thing you have to, and I'm saying this to myself too, build a stronger connection or relationship with your spiritual guides and your team, to be able to discern what is that they want to tell you and what they have for you. And if someone else is echoing what you already know or what spirit has already told you, then that could be just confirmation and clarity for you. But always take in something. If you have a question, take it to God, take it to your angels, your spiritual team, your ancestors, or whatever, and ask for clarity. So I hope that makes sense. Much love as always. If you guys are interested in a personal reading, do check the description box below. I am booked up for April, so you guys will have to book for May if you guys are interested. I do have emergency readings available. So, if you need something much sooner than whatever the time frame, the open availability that I do have, you can book an emergency reading, receive it within 24 to 48 hours from your purchase date. So much love is all.